Lucille arrived at the city, gazing in awe at its grandeur. As he approached, Bazan, a seasoned traveler, teased him about heading straight to the church, but Lucille had other plans. He mentioned he was running low on Substance X and suggested they stop by the Adventurers Guild first. Sekharov, a quiet companion, noticed Lucille's unease about the guild and agreed to stay behind while Bazan accompanied him. At the guild, Lucille was struck by its familiarity. As Bazan spoke with Milty, a waitress, he introduced Lucille to the master. Lucille, feeling the tension, tried to remain calm. After ordering 3 barrels of Substance X, the master offered him a drink to ensure he could handle it. The adventurers around them whispered, calling Lucille a monster and a legendary healer. Lucille, unbothered, shook his head but accepted the drink. Finally, the master agreed to the order, warning Lucille to use the substance responsibly. Leaving the guild, Lucille thanked Bazan for his help, and the journey continued. As they approached the church headquarters, Lucille marveled at its size, while Bazan teased him about earning the spell tome he had received. Lucille felt a sense of loneliness as their journey together ended, but he was ready for the next step. Arriving at the Healers Guild, Lucille was greeted by a receptionist and introduced himself. He admired a telepathic device, which caught the receptionist's attention. Soon, a priest named Granhart arrived and escorted Lucille inside, showing him the magical wonders of the guild headquarters, including an automatic door and a magical elevator. Lucille's excitement grew as he saw the possibilities ahead. Lucille and Granhart were talking about a mysterious building's design. Lucille wondered if the layout was meant to keep people inside, not just keep outsiders out. During their conversation, Lucille was surprised to see Lumina, someone he had helped before. Lumina recognized Lucille and greeted him warmly, mentioning how memorable Lucille's magical aura had been. After chatting, Lumina invited Lucille to talk more later in her room, and Lucille agreed. Granhart reassured Lucille, mentioning Lumina's important position. They moved on to another room that Lucille initially thought was a torture chamber, but was actually a storage room. Granhart shared troubling news from Maritoni, accusing Lucille of damaging the reputation of other healers. Lucille quickly explained his concerns about healers charging high fees and suggested being more transparent with treatment costs. Granhart promised to discuss it with others. Lucille then received an official letter from Granhart, assigning him to the Church of St. Shurul's spiritual cleansing unit. He was to exorcise undead creatures, a task that came with the titles of deacon and exorcist and a surprising salary of 20 gold coins per month. Lucille was both stunned and excited about his new role, but was reminded by Granhart that his work would begin the next day. Later, Lucille nervously entered Lumina's quarters. Lumina noticed his nerves and asked about his assignment. Lucille explained that he was to exorcise undead creatures, and Lumina warned him that this new task might be dangerous. She explained that under the old guild headquarters, there was a labyrinth created by the accumulation of magical energy. The labyrinth contained monsters like skeletons, zombies, and ghosts, but Lucille could fight them using holy purification spells. Lumina reassured Lucille that he could handle the monsters, as he had combat training. Lucille was excited about the potential rewards, like treasure and special tomes, but he also joked about the possibility of turning into a zombie if bitten. Lumina laughed, assuring him it wasn't something that happened often, though she also warned him that the job had its risks. The next morning, Lucille arrived at his destination, where he met Granhart and Jord. After some introductions, Granhart handed Lucille a special robe and a card that would allow him to use the magic elevating platform and go outside without needing permission. Lucille swore to follow Granhart's rules, even though they seemed strict, and was soon off to the labyrinth with Jord. Upon arriving at the entrance, Lucille was hit with a foul smell and saw his first zombie, which excited him, even though Jord urged him to watch first. Lucille was given a magical stone and told to use the purification spell on any undead he encountered. As they continued, Lucille practiced his new spell, finding it helpful for both cleaning and fighting. His weapons, given by Master Broad, came in handy as he began mapping the labyrinth, determined to improve his skills. Lucille faced many monsters, including skeletons and will-o-wisps, using his purification magic and sword to defeat them. Though his magic ran out at one point, he kept going, confident in his abilities. By the end of the day, Lucille had made great progress and was ready to tackle more challenges.